Hi, my name is Sheronda Smith-Williams. I'm a two-time breast cancer survivor. I was first diagnosed with cancer at the age of 52. I had just turned 52 in May, and I found out in June, July that I had stage 0 DCIS. I had went for my annual checkup, physical in June, and then my mammograms around my birthday. So I had went for my annual checkup, which I've been getting checkups since my age 35 because my mother and my aunt relatives are survivors. So I did it regularly since 35. So I had went for my checkup, and when I went the year before that, 2017, I had to go back because they did the wrong one. So I was just thinking, oh, it may be the wrong one again. So when they called me back to come back to do another one, and that's when they found out it was stage 0 DCIS. You know, it was a real low dense, stage. So, and at that time, I decided, because it ran in my family, to get both of the breasts removed, so double mastectomy and reconstruction. First, they were like, oh, that's a lot, that's drastic. But we found out that I had the BRCA gene. So when they found out I had the BRCA gene, they said, okay, we understand why. It was a gene, so you carry a certain BRCA gene that says that, that you carry the cancer gene, and so I do carry it. I got the double mastectomy the first time around because my aunt had when she was, I can't remember her age, but her first time she had it in her left breast, and she got the lump mastectomy. And then 10 years later, it came in her other breast. So then she got a double mastectomy and reconstruction. So it's like, that's my aunt, it's running in the family. Maybe I should do the same thing. And so that's why I opted to do what I did. So 6 years exactly, physical in June. I went for my physical, my annual physical. My doctor was talking to me, and she was like, is there anything else, that we need to look into? I said, well, I'm having this itch under my left arm. I said, and it's kind of just bothering me, it's itching consistently, and I'm not understanding that. And she said, well, let's get an ultrasound. So when she took the ultrasound, then that's when they found out that it was cancer. 2024, I had to have chemo, radiation, and infusions. So totally different, because the first time I had nothing but the surgery, the breast removal, stayed off for about 7 weeks to recovery. But this time it was much more drastic. The chemo, which was harsh, very harsh and hard. So I started chemo last September and just ended the chemo December 30th. And then from chemo, radiation started in January and got burnt real bad with the radiation. And then from radiation, infusions. And the first set of infusion, I wasn't, the first infusion, he said, this medicine may cause neuropathy. That was on a Friday. By Monday, my feet it was neuropathy, full blown. And so we had to try to wait and see if I was going to be able to do that medication. But because I had got burned by the radiation, just too many things happening, he had decided to change the medicine completely. But by then I had the neuropathy, which I still have neuropathy now. Neuropathy is the pain in your feet, tingles, numbness, feel like your feet is cold, on fire. It's a painful process. A lot of times people with diabetes have neuropathy, but also medications can cause it. And so the infusion medication caused it. It was just those things. And I just stopped infusions on August 15th was my last infusion. My doctor, she wouldn't tell me the stage this time. She said, because it's curable, she never shared with me the stage. And to a certain extent, I was okay with that because, sometimes you hear stage, if it's stage 3, stage 4, you get nervous and scared. So I was okay with not getting a stage. So I have never known exactly what stage I was in. So they called it, it had metastasized, so it has spread it, because it went from, the left breast to the lymph node, and then also a HER2 positive. Only thing that's happening now, every 3 months, he wants to check my abdomen. He checked my abdomen and my thyroid because from the PET scan, he's seen something, but it came out no cancer. But he just wants to keep an eye on everything. So for the chemo, that process is, I had chemo every 3 weeks, and it entailed 4 different medications. And that process was probably about 6 to 7 hour process where I have a port and you get the infusion. So you do one medication, goes into your, into your system, and then another medication. So 4 different medications is what I had to have for chemo. And I did that every 3 weeks for, like I said, from September to December. And chemo is really a poison to take out the good, and it takes out the bad. It drains you. Normally when I did chemo, I started doing them on Friday because my daughters would come home each chemo. I took them on Friday. So if I'm gonna have any after effects, it'll be on the weekend. But usually even by Monday and Tuesday, I still wasn't as strong. I might have went to work, but I would have one of my BFFs. She would come and she stayed with me from Sunday when my daughters left to Tuesday and to about Tuesday or Wednesday, because chemo does a lot of things, cause a lot of different things to you. So I had a blurry sight. I couldn't hardly see driving. So she stayed with me until I got my strength back and continued to went to work. Radiation is where they try to burn it out, burn any cells, anything that can be burnt out. So the radiation, I thought it was fine, because the process to me was, I'm going through this machine for so many times. You have to hold your breath. It's fine. But at the end, I got a real bad radiation burn. First infusion I had, so it's not chemo, but it's a smaller version to me of chemo. The medication that I end up having to take was 2 medications that I was taking during chemo. So to me, that's still like chemo. It was 2 of the last 2 doses out of the 4 medicines. It was the 3rd and 4th medicine that I was taking. And I did that until, I think that was like February until August. So chemo just wears and tears you. It tires you really bad. I didn't like chemo at all. It was very painful, and something I bag up. I didn't say I started a new job in 2024. I started a new job 2018. So both times I had, the first one, 2018, I had to go into a new job and tell them, by the way, August 25th, I'll be having surgery. So I was only able to work 2 weeks. Starting a job in 2024. By the way, I just found out I have cancer, but I don't know my treatment. So, and I kept working my new job last year with going through the chemo, the radiation, and infusion. So God gave me that strength. It was hard, but I got through it. So yes. My job was very supportive. Actually, my supervisor is one of my sorority sisters. She was the president of sorority. And so we didn't know what I was going to have to go through, but she knew that, she had just found out she had cancer. So they were very understanding and they worked with me well. My experience with my care team, the first time, the 2018, I was surrounded by, and I think that was what helped my recovery. I was surrounded by caring friends, families, loved ones. It was the support really helped me get through, knowing that they were there for me. The prayer team, the support, bringing meals, coming by to visit, keeping my spirits lifted, was very helpful. The second time, I had that same support team, and also even more, my sorority sisters, church family, other survivors, just a lot of support. I also went through this with a sister friend of mine, which we lost her 4 years ago. And so we were her big supporters and care team. We went to her chemo appointments with her, doctor's appointments, along with her family. So yeah, so it's very important to have people there with you and your support team going to your appointments. I never went to an appointment alone. I always had, support in my children when they couldn't make it, my BFFs or, other support people were there. My doctor, I think, was really great. He called me at home to let me know on a Sunday some of the things that we were going to have to go through. So yes, to replenish my body, replenish myself. I had one, my sister-in-law who had went through this with other people, and she stayed on me because sometimes you don't have an appetite going through the chemo. And she just told me, no matter what, you got to push and eat something. So, because that's how you're going to get your strength back. So having that constant reminder and thinking, okay, I got to do this or she's going to get on me. That was one thing. I also, watched inspirational things. I had some of the survivors that I know, they had told me I can call them anytime. Day or night, if I had any questions, any concerns, you want to scream, you want to holler, you want to cry. So I had that, those outlets, and those outlets helped in, stand in the word and just the things to get through. So, and then the support. My number one thing is for people to, number one, listen to your body. Because in 2024, had I not been listening to my body, had I not told my doctor about that itch under my arm, I may not be here today. And that's something that sticks with me so much. It's like, wow, please listen to your bodies. Please, please, please listen to your bodies. And also let your support, have the positive people around you. You can't fall into the negative. The devil will deceive you. He will have you, thinking you're going crazy, because cancer is also a mental battle. So keep positive things, positive people around you, and know that you will get through it. Know that you will get through it. Some days it may seem like you won't, but you will.